Hello again, YouTubers. This is your host, Baxamar7. I just want to make a video in response to the Michael Rotondo story from upstate New York. So you have a 30-year-old man who's not doing what he's supposed to do as a man, supposedly from what I'm hearing from this story. You have a 30-year-old man from upstate New York. He lives with his parents, and his parents they allowed him to live in their house for the past 8 years rent free, and they decided to they did all they could to show their son that they still love him. They still love him, but they're trying to help him understand that you got to go and live your own life. So, and they even offered to help, offered him $1,100. They gave him notice after notice that you have to go and live your own life. But he decided that he thought that that wasn't enough, and he thought that he didn't have enough time to leave. But everything that I'm hearing from this guy in these videos, he's just constantly making excuses. He's making excuse after excuse after excuse. When it comes to doing the things you're supposed to do, don't make an excuse for it. Don't. Just do it. Just do what you are supposed to do, and don't make an excuse why you're not doing it. Don't. And that's for me. And that's for me. And the saddest thing about this is that he has a son. He has a son. He ain't got no job, and he's living with his parents. And his parents are basically kicking him out, which is what he rightfully deserves. And you know what? As I was looking at this story, it made me think about myself. Man, I ain't got no kids, but I live on my own, and I have 2 jobs. I'm not saying I'm better than him or anything like that, but it speaks of a difference between me and this guy here, because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I ain't got no kids. That just makes me really upset. It makes me really upset that we got so many men in this world that don't want to do what they're supposed to do, men and women. There are lazy, entitled people like this guy here. This person right here in the story, he's an example of what not to be when you become an adult. When you become an adult, don't be this kind of person. Don't. Because there are many Michael Rotondos in this world. There are many like them. And it's sad. You know what? I understand. When you have a family member who was like that, I understand. You need to just love your family. But there comes a time when you're going to have to rely on yourself. It might as well be now. Dr. Phil said that. And you know what? This is something I want to say to Michael's parents. In the words of Dr. Phil, I think that maybe there's come with some finite idea to settle this issue. Set up a 3-month plan. A 3-month plan for Michael, where if he does not have a place to live, then do 90 days. Do 90 days where you're gonna pay for living expenses. You're gonna pay for an apartment for him to stay, food, furniture, and everything like that he needs. Do it for the next 3 months, because in that 3 months he can make choices and he can get some traction. In that 3 months he can get himself a job. And you know what? Let me tell you, and I'm a perfect example of it. I was out this past year. I was working for a moving company and I did that for a week, and I got fired because of so-called not physically competent to do it. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care about that. So I was fired, and I decided to make some choices and get some traction. But it was hard though. I had no money, and I was with my ex at the time, and it was hard. It was very, very hard for us. It was very hard for the both of us. And you know what? And when I got fired, you know what I did? I went home, I went on my computer and started looking for jobs. I went from website to website looking for jobs. And guess what? In a month's time, I managed to get myself a job. And that's a job that I've been working ever since. And I'm very happy and proud of it. I'm very happy and proud that I have the job that I have now, because I need it. I need the money that I'm making with this job and also the money that I'm doing from Lyft. I need the money from these two jobs. And so I'm doing all I can to keep my two jobs. And so, yeah. So for this guy here, he could find a job in a month. Or he could probably find a job even quicker than that. Probably in 2-3 weeks, he could find himself a job. So to Michael Rotondo, if you're watching this story, stop making excuses and do what you're supposed to do. And if you want to see your son again, dude, then I highly recommend, like I just said, do what you're supposed to do. Show the woman that you had this child with, that you had sex and made this baby with, that you mean business. You mean business, Michael, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. And maybe she'll think, maybe she will see, hey, you know what? Michael, you are making a change within yourself. You have grown up. You have worked on yourself. You have turned your life around. So I think it's best that you can see him. You could see him now. You could see him. But until then, until you grow up and make the right choices for yourself, you're not going to see him. And that's why you lost your visitation rights, Michael. That's why you lost them. Because who the hell is going to allow some lazy piece of crap around their kids? Who? I wouldn't. And if I had kids, I'm not going to allow some lazy piece of crap around my kids. I'm not. Because I want my children, I want the best for my kids. I'm not going to raise some lazy piece of crap. Hell no. I'm not going to raise some good for nothing sons or daughters. That's not how it's going to be with me. No. Because in my home, you're not living here for free. You're not. And so when they become grown, that's how it's going to be. Because my mother did the same thing with me. My mother knows better. My mother's not going to allow some good for nothing person live in her house. She's not. She didn't. When I turned 22, I moved out. And I'm happy about that. I'm very happy that I moved out of my mother's house at the age of 22. I'm sure there's people that moved out even younger than that age. But it's good. It's great that by making that choice, by moving away from your parents, because that shows that you're not fully relying on your parents for everything. Because you've got to rely on yourself. Sooner or later, you're going to have to rely on yourself. And I hope, again, and I'm going to say this again, like I said in my last 2 videos, that there'll be a lot more men in America, around the world. That there'll be a lot more men living to be men, not little boys. Now, that's all I got to say about the story. Feel free to like, comment, and favorite my video. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all later.